Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive, honestly, fascinating paradigm shift. We are watching the total transformation of hearing aids. Seriously, they're no longer those clunky, stigmatized medical devices your grandparents wore. Instead, they've evolved into these incredibly sleek, highly customizable tech wearables. I mean, they look and act way more like high-end smartphone accessories now. It's a total revolution in both design and consumer demand, and we're going to break down exactly what that means for you.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the tech boom itself, uncover what users are actually demanding, explore your purchasing paths, weigh your battery options, and finally, help you build a clear decision framework.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the hearing tech revolution, and the absolute boom in modern audio wearables. So why are hearing aid sales suddenly booming? If you look at the market over the last few years, sales have seen absolutely incredible growth. But here's the surprise. This growth isn't coming from the demographic you might expect. We're actually seeing a massive surge among a younger, still working, and generally more affluent crowd. These are busy professionals, completely breaking the old stigmas of hearing loss. They're realizing that investing in these devices is a pretty small price to pay to stay sharp at work and avoid all those frustrating miscommunications at home.
And the invention of RIC, or Receiver-In-Canal technology, brilliantly illustrates why this shift is happening. It's been the ultimate game changer. By moving the speaker, the receiver, directly into the ear canal using a microscopic wire, the actual processor that sits behind the ear became drastically smaller. We're talking about devices that are virtually invisible. They basically ditched the thick acoustic tubes and bulky housings, creating a sleek piece of tech that people are actually excited to wear.
Moving right along to Section 2, what users actually want, focusing on the demands of the modern consumer.
What's super interesting here is the hard data behind the shift. Based on a massive global survey celebrating 1 million successful fittings, we have a really clear picture of what people want today. First up, discreet aesthetics. Users want smaller housings and color options that blend right in with their hair or skin. Second, they're basically treating these things like smartwatches. They demand wireless Bluetooth connectivity to stream music and take phone calls directly. Third, immediate gratification. Thanks to standardized parts, they want to walk into a clinic and walk out with a fully functioning, custom-fit device that exact same day. And finally, durability, like an IP67 rating for water and dust resistance. Because let's face it, our tech needs to keep up with our active lifestyles.
So, the crucial point to understand is that, historically, hearing aid penetration has been the absolute lowest in the mild to moderate segments. These are the folks who constantly use the excuse, "Oh, my hearing just isn't that bad yet." But because these new RSI features are just so compelling, offering incredible comfort, totally natural sound, and all that high-tech connectivity without the old stigma, they're finally tempting this exact crowd to adopt amplification way earlier in their lives.
Let's shift gears to Section 3, prescription versus OTC, and mapping out your purchasing path.
This is essentially the first major fork in the road on your consumer journey, breaking down your two main paths today. On one side, you've got prescription hearing aids. These require a formal hearing test and are custom-fitted and objectively measured by an audiologist, specifically tailored to your unique hearing profile and lifestyle. Plus, you get comprehensive ongoing professional support. On the flip side, we have the newly FDA-approved over-the-counter, or OTC, hearing aids. Now, these don't require a test. They come pre-programmed, and you self-fit them using basic instructions. This highly accessible route is an absolutely fantastic option if you're a tech-savvy self-starter with stable, mild to moderate hearing loss.
Up next is Section 4, Powering Up, where we look at your battery choices. Once you pick your device type, you face the biggest day-to-day lifestyle question of the whole process. How are you going to power it? Well, a staggering 80% of global hearing aid sales are now rechargeable models. The tech has just moved incredibly fast. Modern lithium-ion units can give you 16 to 36 hours of use on a single charge. And there's a huge environmental bonus here too. By going rechargeable, you're keeping roughly 100 to 200 tiny disposable zinc-air batteries out of the landfill every single year. Plus, with the battery permanently sealed inside, it totally eliminates a major choking hazard for curious grandkids or pets. Let's look at a real-world example to put this into perspective. Take Margaret from Claremont. She's a 78-year-old with a super social lifestyle who loves streaming FaceTime calls with her daughter every single day. But Margaret struggles a bit with arthritis in her hands. For her, a rechargeable slim RIC model is an absolute no-brainer. Why? Well, Bluetooth streaming drains batteries incredibly fast, and a rechargeable unit handles that heavy lifting effortlessly. But more importantly, it completely eliminates the absolute nightmare of trying to peel a tiny tab off a microscopic battery and squeeze it into a tiny little drawer. She just drops her hearing aids into a magnetic charging cradle at night and she is good to go.
But now, compare her to Dave from Launceston. Dave's a retired surveyor who spends half his time fishing and camping miles off the grid. He really doesn't want another cable to plug in, and he doesn't even use a smartphone for heavy streaming. So for Dave, traditional disposable zinc air batteries are actually the much better choice. They give him instant 100% power the second he swaps them out, whether he's pitched in a tent or out on a boat. It gives him ultimate off-the-grid freedom without ever having to stress about finding a charging station.
Which brings us to our final topic in Section 5, finding your perfect fit and building your 2026 decision framework.
Let's walk through 4 essential steps to help perfectly match a device to your daily routine. First up, assess your fine motor skills. If handling tiny objects is tough, definitely go rechargeable. Next, calculate your Bluetooth usage. Are you streaming for more than 2 hours a day? Rechargeable is your best bet for sure. But what about travel? If you're constantly off the grid for days at a time, disposables might be the safer play. And finally, aesthetics. If you want that ultra-discreet, slim design that looks like high-end tech, lithium-ion is essentially your only option because of how those batteries are uniquely shaped to hug the ear.
As you navigate all of this, always remember the immense value of consulting a professional. Things like heat, humidity, and your unique lifestyle can really impact how these wearables perform. Professional audiologists often offer trial periods, and you shouldn't just guess what works best on paper. You really need to take these devices home, wear them in your local climate, use them in your favorite noisy restaurant, and see firsthand if the tech actually holds up to your routine without any frustration.
So we've seen how clunky, stigmatized medical devices have been totally replaced by sleek, customizable tech wearables. Whether you go the route of a self-fitted OTC model or opt for a premium, custom-programmed prescription device, the barrier to entry has quite literally never been lower. And honestly, the technology has never been cooler. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on. With all of these incredibly discreet, highly capable options now right at your fingertips,